The Denver police officer behind this body cam video is now facing 2 felony charges for shooting into a crowd in downtown Denver. 6 innocent bystanders were injured in that July shooting as officers attempted to stop a man who had a gun. And breaking this all down for us tonight is Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kowaleski.
And Tony, Denver's mayor put out a statement this evening, and I was surprised just how critical it was of the grand jury's decision.
It's definitely interesting, Jessica and Ann. By all indications, Denver's Mayor Michael Hancock came to the defense of his police officer. In this statement, released shortly after the indictment was announced, Mayor Hancock wrote, "I'm surprised to see that the grand jury found the officer's actions involved criminal intent. Now it will be a jury that will decide if the officer committed a crime." The sound of those gunshots fired after midnight in July were the center of the grand jury's investigation. Since the July shooting, Denver's district attorney says the grand jury listened to testimony from 17 witnesses and reviewed 140 different exhibits. Their job was to decide if officers were legally justified in shooting a suspect and also injuring innocent bystanders. This is how Denver police explained the shooting.
Every officer articulated a specific threat that he was responding to.
District Attorney Beth McCann announced the grand jury indictment and charged one of the 3 officers involved in the shooting. Denver police officer Brandon Ramos now faces a total of 14 criminal charges. The indictment accuses Officer Ramos of 2 felonies, both assault in the 2nd degree and 12 other misdemeanors. Included in her 10-page indictment, DA McCann writes, Officer Ramos caused the injuries. It says Officer Ramos was not in immediate danger himself. It continued, Officer Ramos' decision to shoot was not legally justified because it was, quote, reckless, unreasonable, and unnecessary for the purpose of protecting himself or other officers. And he consciously disregarded an unjustifiable risk of injury to the crowd. Prior to the shooting, the video clearly shows the suspect, Jordan Waddy, punching a person outside the bar. Then, as police approach, reports say he ignored orders from police officers and attempted to get away. After the shooting, we learned Waddy was a felon on parole wearing an ankle monitor. In the DA's announcement today, it includes Waddy now faces 3 felony counts of possession of a firearm as a previous offender. Now, Denver's district attorney declined our request for an interview to discuss her announcement today. Multiple sources have questioned why Denver's DA did not call a news conference to announce a decision this significant. One ranking City Hall source texted me saying, a decision of this consequence with impacts for the public and morale of law enforcement deserved more than a press release and a tweet. We will have more in the coming days. Ann?
We know you will. Thank you, Tony. And tonight, 3 of the people who were caught in the crossfire in this shooting are responding to the indictment. And they are still recovering from either the physical or emotional wounds from that night. And they hope this inspires some change on how Denver officers are trained.
It's a blessing that any of us are even standing here today. Any of us could have been the officers or the mayor's child or daughter, son, or anybody who was downtown just enjoying themselves as well.
And tonight, you will hear more from those victims and their stories, and you can watch that tonight on Denver 7 News at 10.